Hello and welcome to this week's edition of BS with AJ. This week we're going to be finishing up the ceiling fan project. Stick around. Hey guys, last week we finished up by pulling all the wires to all the switches and over to the ceiling fan and everything. This week we're actually going to be wiring everything together and finishing up the project. So let's get started. Alright, now then, we've got this all separated here. I went ahead and stripped them down for you. That way we can get through this quicker. This yellow cord right here is your power coming in. This switch goes to the right, and this switch goes to the front door. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is connect the black wire from our power coming in to the switch to the right. So we'll go ahead and got them stripped already. We'll go ahead and put our wire nut on. Make sure it gets good and snug. Alright. Now our next step, we're going to be connecting the red wire from the right hand switch to the red wire to the switch on the front door. So basically both of the switches are going to have your red wires put together. And as I said before, I'll make sure and take a picture of the wiring diagram I'm using here, so that way you can look at it and not get confused. Alright. The next thing we're going to do is take all the grounds and put them together. These three here, so we're going to need a bigger wire nut. Okay, those are on there good. Alright. Now let's see here. The white wire is going to be connecting to the white wire on both your switches also. Alright, so all we should have left that's not put together is going to be the white wire from the power and the black wire from the left hand switch, which is the one closest to the front door. Alright, we're going to hook those to the ceiling fan. We also have this ground wire here that I've got connected to the box. We're going to ground our ceiling fan to the box. Alright, now we're over here to install the first three-way switch. So we're going to set we have a black, a white, a red, and a ground. Alright. So we have on this switch right here, we have a black up top on the right hand side, and there's a gold on the bottom of both sides. And then we have this green nut right here. The green nut the ground goes to. The gold nut on the left side we're going to put the red wire on. The gold nut on the right side we're going to put the white wire on. And the black one up top we're going to put the black wire on. Alright, the first thing we're going to hook up is this ground. We'll go ahead and set it on here. Screw it down tight. Alright. Now we're going to take our red wire and we're going to put on the left side on that gold nut. We'll screw it down tight. Alright, make sure it's good and snug in there. We're going to put the white wire on the gold nut on the right side. We'll screw it down tight. Make sure it's in there snug. And then we're going to put the black wire on the top black nut right here. Alright, now as all of them are on there good and snug, all you got to do is take your switch and go ahead and screw it into your box. Alright, now all you got to do is put your cover over this and you're good to go. Make sure it's straight. Now we're ready to move on to our other switch. Alright, now with this one, we're going to have to install our box. So we're going to go ahead and cut this off with some extras sticking out, just to make it easier on us. Then we're going to take our box and slide this wire in here first. Alright, now this kind of box that I've got right here, whenever we go to tighten it up, what happens is this piece right here kicks up. So basically these edges right here are going to catch on the wall, and when I tighten this up, this is going to be on the back side of the wall. So it's going to sandwich it in the wall so you don't actually have to nail it to a stud or anything. So when you go to put it in, you want to make sure they're facing down. And then you get it into position, and you go ahead and tighten it up. All right. Now then, we'll go ahead and cut this off the rest of the way, making sure that we leave ourselves plenty of wire to mess with. And I'm going to go ahead and strip this, and then we'll get back to it. Alright, now we have the same wires that we did before. We're going to wire it the exact same way. The red is going to go over here to the left on the bottom gold nut. The white's going to go on the right gold nut. The black's going to go on the black nut, and the ground's going to go on the green one. Alright, now to start putting this ceiling fan in, the first thing we're going to put on is this bracket, which is held on by 2 screws. We'll screw directly to the box. You want to make sure it's even here and pretty well centered, so that way it covers up your hole. Now we have that on there. We're going to get all our wires to one side. So that way it's easier to wire up here in just a minute. Alright, now that we have our bracket in place, what we're going to do is take our ceiling fan, and the way it's made, you can just take all these wires, stick them through that side since that's where we have all the other wires at right now. And then all we got to do is slip it right into place right here. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and wire up all the green ones to get them out of the way. There's two coming off this ceiling fan and there's one going to the box. Alright, all our grounds are done now. So just take them and push them up in the box out of the way. Alright, now we're left with 5 wires. We have a black, a blue, and a white coming off the ceiling fan. And then we have a black and a white coming from all of our switches. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this white one and connect it to this white one that's coming from the switches. Now that's good and snug. We'll get it, push it up in the box, out of the way as well. We're left with the black and the blue coming from the ceiling fan. And we still have the black coming from the switches. So we're going to put all 3 of those together. Because this way we can actually control it from the chains that come with the ceiling fan, with the light and the fan also. Alright, now that we have all of our wiring done and pushed up out of the way, we're going to take our cover here and put it on. Start by putting 2 screws. Starting them there. And then we'll take this, slide it up over it, and slide it to that smaller spot. And we'll put our other 2 screws in. Alright, now we'll tighten down all 4 of them. That way it covers up all of your wiring and the piece that actually holds it on. Alright, next we're going to start putting our blades on. Now this fan here actually has 2 different sides that you can use. There's a black side and then you have the wood grain side. I like the black side facing down, so that's the way I'm going to put mine on. Alright, down here you'll see there's little places for your screws to go. And that's where we're going to put it. There are 2 places right here where your screws go in. And then it screws into this spot and then into these 2 screw holes right here. You want to make sure you get them on pretty snug. You do not want your blades coming off. That would be dangerous. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing for the next 4 blades. Alright, now it's time to test it. We'll flip on one switch. Alright, so the lights work. Flip it off. Alright, now we're going to go over to the other switch. Alright, it works. So now let's test out our fan. Alright. Alright, everything seemed to work out pretty good. So now you know how to install a ceiling fan with two three-way switches when there's no light fixtures in the room. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that way you know when I post new videos each week. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave those down in the comment section below. I'd really appreciate that. Also consider supporting BS with AJ on Patreon so I can do bigger and better projects for you guys. I'll see you next week.